It's been a minute since I posted, but some things are finally happening. And you may see over here, I've got a register now, a POS system. Last time we got our fire suppression system done, and now I am very happy to say we have finally heard back from the health department. So it's taken weeks. We sent a letter out with our application several weeks back, and now we finally, after calling them several times and getting them on the phone and talking to them a little bit, we finally have now gotten our application through. So now we're just submitting all of the last little steps. So had to send them a diagram that features the layout of the entire trailer. I had to talk about what size my freshwater and my gray water tanks are, because your gray water tank has to be at least I think 10 or 15% more volume than your freshwater, so that there's never a chance that it could back up into it or have any issues like that whatsoever. So I've just been in here today just kind of cleaning things up, arranging things, figuring out where stuff is going to go. I'm super excited about this register, and then I've got to figure out, I bought a timer for my fryer so I can like set the time and then just hit it, and this is like the loud thing that you hear in the back of restaurants where it's like beep 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 when it's done. But I don't have power over here, it's all gas, so I can't exactly just like hang this right above my fryer. So I've got to figure out, like, in the flow of things, if I am frying something, right? So my freezer's over here, so likely what I'm going to do is maybe put this on the wall over here so that when I'm frying, I'll come into my freezer and open it up, and then I can just like hit the timer and go and drop and then do my thing. But I don't know yet, because it's so far, it's like opposite ends. I may end up actually pulling this fridge forward because I know there's an outlet there, and I think this is long enough that maybe I can mount the timer, like, I know you guys can't see this, but like over here on the wall, so I can just reach behind. That way it's right across where it is, which makes a lot more sense from like a lean thinking standpoint. So the other thing that I promised was that I wanted to talk about the food. So if you've seen us on Facebook, you've probably by now seen that we are going to do a version of If It's, where we do wraps as our primary core menu. Now don't get too discouraged. It still means that I'm going to be able to do specials where I can bring in some more, I don't want to say the word exotic, but more interesting things to cook. So like my voodoo beans, for example, or I don't know, really just whatever I feel like coming up with as a special that's not necessarily a wrap. Now, obviously I'll experiment with some wraps as well, but we had been thinking about a trailer this size, and this is kind of how this decision came about. I don't have a lot of space, and I don't have a lot of area to do like hot holding or things like that, which is a little limiting in what it is that I can create and I can cook. So a wrap is, one, it's a handheld. Everybody loves a handheld. Two, as far as the ingredients go, I can kind of interchange some things because a lot of wraps have lettuce, a lot of wraps have lettuce, tomatoes, so these things are kind of interchangeable between wraps, and it helps keep my food costs down a little bit. Overall, the idea here is to create some interesting wraps that makes people happy and makes people want to come and try that one and maybe several others, right? Which is why I've got, for example, a glazed pork belly and kimchi rice wrap, which personally I love. It's so freaking good. And I make the glaze out of honey and a Korean gochujang, which is like a fermented spicy bean paste, which sounds janky, but I promise, like, it's super, super good. It's a really good glaze. And then you'll mix that all in with some fresh, like, basmati rice with really good kimchi for a little bit of acid, and like, it's just, I love it. I'm excited about it. And we're gonna toast everything, right? Because I hate when you go and get a wrap and they just give you like a tortilla. And it's like, I don't want that. I want you to like toast the tortilla to give me a little bit of crunch, something good, like a good mouthfeel. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do like a Nashville hot chicken wrap that's gonna have, obviously some Nashville hot chicken inside of that with a little bit of slaw, and then I'm going to put some acid in there, either with some sweet and spicy pickles or maybe some pickled red onion. I haven't decided yet, still kind of working all of that out, right? For you vegetarian folks out there, I'm going to do a chili paneer, which is like an Indo-Chinese dish. It's a little bit spicy, but the paneer is a curd, so it's a cheese. And it's going to have a bunch of fresh like bell peppers and onions that are all sauteed and tossed all together in that sauce, and then I'll put that with some white rice, wrap it up, and toast it. Now you're probably immediately thinking, if you're a vegetarian, well, hold up, you got a griddle, how are you going to make all the meat So for the vegetarian stuff, I'm gonna have to use my burners over here, and I'll do those in a pan because it's easier to toss my veg and everything anyway when I'm cooking that, so it makes a lot more sense for me to do that on one of my 2 burners over here. So fear not, folks, I'm not gonna cook the veggies with the meat and mix it all together. So I promise I will keep that separate for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But for you meat lovers out there, I definitely am gonna have a steak and chimichurri wrap, which is next level. If you've never had a really good chimichurri, it's a red vinegar, it's like a red wine vinegar and fresh parsley, fresh herbs, garlic, just blended together into just this really nice sauce. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's loud, it's herby. You put that on some steak and it's just, man, it pops. So that one's really good. That'll end up being the most expensive thing on the menu, obviously, just because it's steak, right? Steak ain't cheap. So that's a little bit about the menu. I will show you guys more on the menu, specifically the wraps themselves, here in the future as I start cooking stuff. Next up, we are just waiting to schedule our health inspection. And the minute that we do that, we're done. We finally have accomplished every single thing we need to legally open. So let me show you some of the cool stuff that I've been kind of messing around with in here so you can kind of start to see how this is shaping up. So first off, I wanted like some checklists in here. I like systems being in place. I like things to be very organized. And again, if I have help in here ever, like it's really helpful for people to know what they need to do. So I've got an opening set on the checklist and a closing set of the checklist. So every day we'll come in and we'll check our fridges. We'll check all of the inspection dates on all of the food to make sure that we don't have anything in here that could possibly be past the date. And to that note, everything that we do in here will actually be labeled with what it is, when we prepped it, when we use it by. So I really like these labels, they dissolve, but you won't find a single thing in my fridge that doesn't have this label so that we are always clear on what's going on. Because the worst thing you could possibly do is not give people fresh food. Like, come on, do better. Anyway, and then we got the closing stuff, right? So we'll get rid of anything that we need to get rid of. We'll clean our griddle down. We'll wipe everything. We'll sanitize things, right? Speaking of sanitation, right, here's kind of the next thing. So with my sanitize part of my sink, I have to have a chemical sanitizer. So I got this one here, this Maxim food service sanitizer. So I have to put a preset amount of ounces into a volume of water. And then to know how we're doing, you gotta have some test strips. So I have to test all of my sanitizing solution so that I can make sure. I think this one's 400 parts per million. So basically you're looking for aqua. So you just dip these in the water for like 10 seconds or something. Yeah, it says right there, 10 seconds, and then it'll change color. And that's how you know what your parts per million are. And I'm just gonna record that every day just for good measure. That way if anybody ever asks, like, come on, you know I'm doing what I need to be doing. Gotta have my license, right? I am a certified food manager, so this just means I know something about food, right? It's more than a food handler. As a food handler just teaches you how to safely handle food. Food manager goes more in depth with like foodborne illnesses and correct holding temperatures and things like that. And then lastly, I put this little if it's hand washing SOP, right? Because it's amazing to me how many people don't know how to properly wash their hands. And for real, when you're serving food, cleanliness is next to godliness. So don't want any questions here, so let's just be real about it. And then lastly, man, I am so excited about the POS system that we got. So I went with the Square Register. This is telling me it wants me to dock the display. So if you don't know, the Square Register has this part here in the front that comes off and it will attach to a cord. And the cord itself will be then attached to this. So this faces the customer. So the idea here is that I will run this out the window onto the countertop outside, and the customer will see this. They can insert their card, right? You can insert your card here. You can swipe the card. It's a mag strip and it's tap to pay. So this is going to be super convenient, and I've got a printer coming in at the end of the week so that as we take orders on the POS, people will already be able to pay outside and see what their total is and leave a tip if that's what they want to do. And that'll be all out there, so I don't have to like run outside or lean over a window and try to hand people stuff. And then because it's getting cold, I thought we should get a paging system. So I've got these little pagers. So when you come in and you do your order, I will type in your number, hand you the pager, go sit in your car, get out of the cold, do whatever you gotta do to feel comfortable, because the weather's not always great and I don't want you to stand outside shivering while you're waiting on me to make you something delicious. So this will let you sit in your car. I'll page you when it's ready. Come pick it up. right? I needed internet, so I went with a mobile hotspot solution. So I've got that going on, and that's pretty much it right now, y'all. I am super, super excited to get this going on. Oh, actually, one last thing. I love Velcro, so I Velcroed this. How cool is this? So this is the remote to my AC, right? It's all Wi-Fi enabled, so watch. I'm gonna hit this button, and when I do, this comes on. I'm gonna turn it off because I want you to see this. So when I turn it on, check this out. Comes up, it's set to 90 degrees. I love it. And it's got a little, see the flap? The flap's coming down. Technology. I know, I'm lame. It's just an AC, y'all, but I'm super excited. It's actually starting to feel a little bit like home in here, and you guys have no idea how long I've been waiting to get this going. Anyway, I know this is a longer video. Again, I appreciate everybody. Please like, please subscribe, please start sharing this out. I'm trying to get some more followers. Can't wait to serve you.